But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out of my Spirit upon all flesh. And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out in those days of my Spirit, and they shall prophesy. And I will show wonders in heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness.
An out-of-this-world experience unfolds on Monday, April 8th, and experts encourage we Earthlings take the time to take it all in, the total solar eclipse.
And the moon into blood.
Have you ever seen the moon turn deep red in the night sky? Well, something amazing is happening on March 2 and 3, 2026, a rare blood moon total lunar eclipse. This is the last total lunar eclipse we'll see until 2029.
Before that great and notable day of the Lord come.
Pentecost happened in a way foreshadowed in the book of Joel. Will we see a repeat of these events as shown in the book of Acts? Is Pentecost the day of the sealing of the 144,000? It is a fitting day, a day maybe we should look out for, just in case. Pentecost is on July 27th, 2026. Is this too late in the year to be Pentecost? Or is this the right time of the year to be Pentecost?
And you shall number to yourselves from the day after the Sabbath, from the day on which you shall offer the sheaf of the heave offering, 7 full weeks. Until the morrow after the last week, you shall number 50 days, and shall bring a new meat offering to the Lord. You shall bring from your dwelling loaves, as a heave offering, 2 loaves. They shall be of 2/10 portions of fine flour. They shall be baked with leaven of the first fruits to the Lord. They shall be baked with leaven of the first fruits to the Lord. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb.
From what I am seeing, the count to Pentecost is not being done correctly by most, and the number one reason is the false calendar teachings. In this short video, I want to show you a possible event to come. Pentecost, fallen on July 27, 2026, falls on a unique date, even as the 2300 days ending on June 26, 2026. And once seen, you can decide for yourself. This, like any other time, is just a listing of a possibility. I do not declare anything will happen for sure. On June 26, the 2300 days ended on the official 27th day of the 3rd month. Pentecost falls on Babylon's 27th day, but is actually the 28th day of the 4th month. Is this significant? Once again, you will have to decide for yourself.
And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire, and it sat upon each of them. They were all filled with the Holy Ghost, and began to speak with other tongues, as the Spirit gave them utterance.
On this day of Pentecost, they were able to speak and hear in all sorts of different languages. Is Yahweh painting us a picture for the last days? The languages, in this case of Peter and the others, became unconfused. The language barrier was reversed. April 2nd, 2026 was the first true day of the Hebrew year, and Pentecost on July 27th, 2026 is the 117th day of the year. The language barrier was reversed on Pentecost, and this being the case, when did the language barrier begin Of course. Genesis 11:7.
Go to. Let us go down and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
I don't know if this means anything at all, but I think it is worth bringing up just in case.
And in the 3rd month of the departure of the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, on the same day, they came into the wilderness of Sinai.
Woe unto thee, O Israel! You have sinned a great sin in the sight of God. You are not worthy to receive these 10 commandments.
We're gathered against you, Moses. You take too much upon yourself. We will not live by your commandments. We're free.
There is no freedom without the law.
Whose law, Moses? Yours? Did you carve those tablets to become a prince over us?
Who is on the Lord's side? Let him come to me.
Hello, this is Kenneth Vance from Rooftop Videos. Okay, I just want to say up front that we need not argue about this, because this one's going to be a tough bean to chew. I'm not here to argue. If you disagree, that's fine, because I'm just theorizing anyway. But, as much as I don't like touching this subject, I feel a little pressure to do so based upon what I'm going to show you today. I don't like to go over calendar issues, but part of this I have to. That way I can show a possibility for the month of July. It's something we may have missed. I just don't like touching the subject, but I know because people wants to argue and fight. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Relax. False doctrine has caused so much trouble, and I'm not perfect either. I'm still learning daily just like you. So we don't need to argue and fight, but at least ponder what I'm going to say and consider it as a possibility. And it's dealing with sealing the elect and Pentecost. Well, wait a second. Pentecost is already over, huh? Hold on now. I got some interesting things and new ways of looking at it. And something else that I ran into by accident, which has got me really thinking. I'm just doing a double take, trying to check it out. I'm going to show you that, which is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Something I didn't know or see. So, the 2300 days has ended. Nothing blew up. Wasn't supposed to, but we did exit out of that time cycle. Okay, we got that. There's so many things happening right now, and the war's starting back up, and it's going to finish. It's going to finish. But that's not the subject for today. It goes along with it as a possibility. So I'm rambling on. Okay. Dealing with the count to Pentecost, because most people, and I say it's a good day for it, based upon what I'm going to show you. It is a good day to seal the elect. It would make sense on Pentecost based upon what I'm going to show you today. But, you know, I'm telling you, I'm not expecting anything to happen. I want it to, but I'm showing it as a possibility. We don't know when he's going to seal the elect. Pentecost is probably the number one day of the year people would think he would do it. So, the doctrines are this. The false doctrines. Well, you have Passover and unleavened bread, and then you count 50 straight days. That is not what the Bible says. No wonder that one's gone wrong. And then they have the Sunday through Saturday calendar. So if it people are keeping a Sunday Sabbath, they'll count 7 Sundays, and then the day after is day 50, and that's Pentecost. Or if it's Saturday, 7 Saturdays after that, or however they want to work it, or whatever crescent moon months they do. I mean, just so many different ways people are counting it. I'm going to show you what I'm seeing here and ask you to at least ponder and consider it. Ponder, and I for years I have picked this apart with a fine-tooth comb. Leviticus 23, and I'm noticing the language here, and I just want you to share it with me and really think about it. Okay, it's right here in verse, well, let me get to it. Okay, right here. And this is verse 15 of Leviticus 23. Now, he just mentions the first day of unleavened bread. And that's the 15th day of the first month. Okay, no one's going to argue with that. Verse 15. And you shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that you brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Okay. No one's going to argue what it means. It says, after the Sabbath, you'll count 7 Sabbaths. So there's unleavened bread, the high Sabbath, but from there, 7 Sabbaths will be completed from that time. But what are people doing? They're counting 7 straight weeks and then the 50th day. And that's not the language here. As I've said, the Sabbaths are the new moon day, and then you count 7 more days. And there's only 4 regular Sabbaths in a month. So, okay, so now we have that. But notice the next verse. And here's the problematic verse. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath. Just like before, he says, after this first day of unleavened bread, you count 7 Sabbaths after that. But now, he did not say count 49 days. He says 7 Sabbaths you will count. Because you're going to run into at least one new moon day, right? And a dead day, whatever you want to call it, or 2. That's going to be anywhere from 51 to 53 days. Count it like that. Because it is. It's not a count of 49 straight days. It's not how his calendar works. So that's why he says 7 Sabbaths you will count. So first, you count 7 Sabbaths. But now he changes the language. Excuse me. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall you number 50 days. Notice that language. After the Sabbath, though, you shall number 50 days. That's what it says. I know it can be taken, but it's just the day after the 7th Sabbath is the 50th day. But that's not what he's saying. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall you number 50 days. He didn't say count 7 Sabbaths here. He says that you're going to count 50 days. First he says you'll count Sabbaths. Now you're going to count days. It's 2 different counts. So, this being the case, and here's where it gets interesting. Now that because I'm going to show you some things. And it's got me really thinking, but just in case, this is a theory. That something may or may not happen. I don't want to be disappointed. But it's a possibility. Just to consider. That being the case, and this is where it's pointing at Pentecost, this year puts it on July 27th. Oh no, that's way too late in the year. Based upon what I'm going to show you, it is not too late. Actually, it's at the right time, but that puts it too close to trumpets, because you only got a couple months after that. It's not going to be dead center between Passover and trumpets. That's Babylonian thinking. That's not what he's saying, and I'm going to show you this. and really consider what I'm saying here. Because this gets real interesting. That's actually the right time of year. That puts it on the 28th day of the 4th month, his month. But the 27th day, remember how we keep going over 26s and 27s? Puts it on the 27th day of Babylon's month. So it's the 28th day of his 4th month, 27th day of Babylon's 7th month. That number 47 sure sounds familiar, doesn't it? That being said, we say, well, that's awful late in the year, but it really isn't based upon what he's showing me. But I want to read this. Now let's put ourselves in. Let me find it here. I'm not going to read all these verses. I'll find it. Give me a second. Because I don't understand all these offerings and all that stuff, okay? I'll admit that. Because he says okay, I'm not going to get into it without reading all these verses. He calls this a first fruits offering. Does the same thing with the wheat, the wave sheaf, but the barley and all that, but that is a winter crop. That's the difference I'm wanting you to see. That's a first fruit offering as well. But here at this Pentecost, that's also a first fruit offering, but this is a summer harvest. And who are the first fruits to be sealed, right? So possibly Pentecost might be the day. I don't know. I don't hear him mentioning first fruits as far as the 7th month, but there's possible. It's possible. But I looked it up, and there is different harvests. There's the Passover harvest. Now there's the time of Pentecost harvest, starting after June sometime, give or take, whether you know how that goes, through like the end of July. So that is the perfect time. Except this summer fruit is pomegranates, figs, grapes, and other things. While other things that takes longer to grow are at the 7th month. And we know what grapes are synonymous of. The blood, the wine. So it makes perfect sense. So Amos, he says, what do you see? I see a basket of summer fruit. A basket of summer fruit, not winter. It says, the end has come upon my people Israel, even though the first day of the year, that's considered the 6-month segment called the summer. But it puts Pentecost right at the time of gathering this summer fruit. I don't know. I'm just saying. But what if? What if the sealing is on Pentecost? Based upon what I'm showing you, in Leviticus 23, you count 50 more days, because I can't read it any other way. Even unto the morrow after the Sabbath, 7th Sabbath, shall you count, number, that's what the word number means, 50 days. You're numbering 50 days, straight days, whether it's a Sabbath or not from that point. First, it's 7 Sabbaths according to his calendar, but now it's a separate counting of just 50 straight days. And of all things, this year, and it's true, I looked at it, July 27th, it falls directly on the 28th day of the 4th month. Well, you say, well, why is that so important? Because of this. You set the Bible here. Now I just wrote it down because it's on my phone and the phone's got to be aimed at me. This is what the Wikipedia pulls up. Now I'm trying to confirm all this. Whether or not, it doesn't matter. Because we're not given specific counts. It shows in Exodus that Israel did arrive at Sinai in the 3rd month, but it doesn't say what day of the month. That's the thing, but we're close. This is what the internet says. So whether this be true or not, I don't know where they're getting these figures from, so I haven't really broke this down. I just ran into this by accident this morning, actually. To go along with this, like, what? And I looked at it, so I wrote it down. I thought it's worth mentioning. But this is very interesting. So we're going to try to confirm this. Here's what it says, word for word. In specific Messianic and ancient calendar studies, 102 days, which equates to 15 plus 29 plus 15 plus 3 plus 40 equals 102, are counted starting from the first day of the Israelites leaving Egypt. Based on this consecutive chronology, the 28th day of the 4th month is traditionally identified as the day Moses brought down the 10 Commandments. Now, what do you think about that? If this is true, and it would make sense, it would. I saw other people saying, "Oh no, it's when he brought the 2nd set down." That doesn't make no sense, because that's putting it past the beginning of the 6th month, because he had to fast 40 more days. The math doesn't add up there. That's not going to be the 28th day of the 4th month. But the first one, it does make sense. So if that's true, Pentecost is when he come down with the 10 Commandments. I'm not a great historian. I'm just telling you, you know what? I hate to use the word AI. Oh, it's demons. Come on now. It's just a computer that pulls up information. That's all this is. But that's what it says. I guess that's what scholars are saying and all that. It makes sense. So that, therefore, July 27th, it is the 28th day of the 4th month. But if that's the case, he brought the 10 Commandments down on that day, then that's this year. Makes perfect sense then. It does, and it would also prove that what I'm telling you is you count 7 Sabbaths with the full moon months, not just straight 7 days. You count 7 Sabbaths shall be complete, which the new moon day or a dead day or two could make it extra days. That's why he says first you count 7 Sabbaths, then you're going to count 50 straight days. Oh no! Oh yes! That's what it says. But let's not argue and fight about it, okay? Just consider it and see the possibilities that maybe this Pentecost is the sealing. Because it is a first fruits, but it's a summer first fruits from summer crops, not from the winter that they're now picking as Passover and all that stuff's going on. This is a summer first fruits. This is a summer harvest. And there's one more. It comes in the 7th month. I don't know what all was growing back then. Maybe you studied deeper into that. I'm not a biblical historian and all that. Okay, I get that. I admit my being behind on that. But this is interesting. I thought I was going to bring this up as a possibility. And it sure does fit in all these timelines we're running into. It would make perfect sense. So the 13 weeks ends on July the 7th, but I don't expect anything to blow up between now and then. These are just things that has to happen, just like the 2,300 days we had to go through it. And now it's over. Just like the 1290 days ended on September 22nd, 2023. It's over. But we needed to see that so that we could point at the April 8th and the March 2nd, 2026 eclipses, which the timeline is exactly to the day. Everything matches up. It's just it doesn't blow up on certain days. Because people expected a sign to confirm it's true. It's evil, adulterous generation seeketh a sign. Nothing blows up on those days. It's just the counts we pay attention to, so we're getting closer and closer to the mark is what he's wanting us to see. That's why it's so important. So thought I'd bring this up for you today as a possibility. Now don't expect anything. I don't want people to get mad at me. I don't know the day. It is a possibility. I doubt it, because I don't want to look like a dumbbell. I'm just being honest with you. But I think I need to at least bring it up as a possibility. And if it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. But that's what Pentecost is July 27th. I know it's way late in the year, but actually that's really the right time. Because then you've got the rest of the 4th month. Then you got to go through month 5 and all the way through month 6. And the first, then end of September is trumpets going to mid-October. I got to look it up, something like that. Is the Feast of Tabernacles. So near probably October 18th or 19th, the fall feast ends. I think that is a doable time frame. I think earlier in the year it just doesn't match up because it took time to leave, go through the Red Sea, and they had to get to Mount Sinai in the 3rd month. Then he had to go up for 40 days fasting. So it took time, and those 3 days of preparation, all this other stuff going on. So this does make more sense that the 28th day of the 4th month is Pentecost, which is what I've been saying, that you count 7 Sabbaths, then 50 more days, and that timeline adds up. So I'll check it out, make sure I'm not goofing off, but it's the message for the day, and I'm going to end this because it's getting hot. I pray you always cooling you down. Things are still happening. I'm not disappointed. Jeez. I don't know if that phone was shaking. That's another one of those earthquakes again. Okay, yeah, it was a minor one. I told you I've been having earthquakes a lot here. I'm sorry. But anyway, it's been about a week since I had the last one. But anyway, I hope this has helped you out and tell me what you think. I'm still checking into it. I could be goofy and messing up. But Pentecost is July 27th, yes, based upon this. But whether something's going to happen or not, I don't know. So, that being said, make this one short as I can. Yahweh bless you.